Good morning, everybody. I introduced myself last Thursday by email, and some of you met me in class. And unfortunately, tomorrow I can't come to class because my mother is having a pacemaker implanted because of her heart condition. So I'd like to be with her. And I do appreciate your commitment to work on your English skills and to make use of these materials that I've put together for you to go over during my absence. So I'm going to get started with a presentation of mistakes I found from the beginning of year assessment. There are some 8 people who have already taken that assessment. Please, if you haven't done that yet, go ahead and complete it before you continue watching this video. Thank you. So I've included a slide with a message to you so that you can really understand the importance of mistakes. They will be very valuable in our course in which you are on your route to proficiency. So we're going to try to make as few mistakes as we can that pertain to previous year's content, okay? The first one has a gap at the beginning of the sentence. The sentence goes as follows. He, blank, a therapist for several years after he left school. Before you move on to the next slide, I'd like you to brainstorm which words could fit in that gap. Could it be a verb? Could it be a noun? Would it be a verb in the past tense, in the future tense? What other clues do we find in the rest of the sentence? Obviously, we've got some clues here. We've got after he left school, and then for several years. So that gives me an idea about as to how this person has already concluded, finished whatever he did for several years. And the whole sentence is anchored in the past. I hope you've written down or made a mental note about the options you see could be possible here. And now I'm going to move on to the next slide, in which I present the options that were given in the test. Most people have chosen the second option, has been seen, but that would imply a connection to the present. The present perfect continuous and thus connect the action to the present. But we don't have any clues that tells us, that tell us so. That's why the answer would be saw. It's a finished action that is anchored in the past, and voila. Okay, I hope that was helpful. So I've exemplified what I would like you to do in the next slides. I would like you to look at the example. Please stop at that slide, at this one, brainstorm possible options, write them down or make mental notes about what you think would be possible here. And then, only then, you move on to the next slide. In this case, we've got an adverb that, of course, can accompany an adjective, and that's the case. Absolutely, it's one of those extreme adverbs that go with extreme adjectives. This is the third sentence. His father asked then where blank all day. I hope you've made some mental notes or have written down your answers. It's a reported, this is part of reported speech, in case that had not crossed your mind yet. So here, most people chose the first option, had he been, as if this was a question, but the full sentence is an affirmative sentence. It's a reported question, so his father asked, that's the reporting verb, asked then where he had been all day. There is no need to invert the auxiliary, have, had in the past tense, and place it before the subject pronoun. It should go after the subject pronoun, as option 3 shows, where he had been all day. Okay? I'm just going to move on and let you do these at your own pace. You can stop the video now, think about your answers, and then only then look at the results from people's answers. In this case, we've got a collocation. We're talking of a window display, which is the most common collocation in English. When it comes to shopping and where you place some representative items of what you've got in stock for people to, for them to catch people's eye as they're walking along the street. For example, that's a window display. Remember, you can stop the video. And once again here, we've got collocation or proof with a specific preposition that must accompany that verb. The other options do not go with of. During his stay in Indonesia, he came blank with malaria. Please stop the video if you need it. In this case, we've got 4 prepositions and only one go with come down with. It's a phrasal verb that has 2 prepositions actually. This is the last one. Which word could go in the blank? And of course, if waiting was correct, you would need for the preposition for, which is not included in the example sentence. So we'd been expecting it much earlier and we were worried we might miss our flight. It's important here to know the difference between expect, wait, and hope. So I do encourage you to look up the differences. Exactly, if you didn't guess the answer to any question, remember that we might have to try different times. Okay, I hope this was helpful for you, and I'll see you in class on Thursday. Please don't forget to complete the exercises I've posted along with this one in Blackboard in week 1, which is included in course material. Thank you. Have a good day.